Hi, everyone. Welcome to our fifth workshop, the first workshop of this weekend. Today, we have Tiffany Duff from Hackhub, sorry, and she's here to talk about the tech hub in North America and careers. Tiffany's career started with finance and quickly moved to HR, new hire training while working at JP Morgan Chase. For the past 10 years, Tiffany has worked in private post-secondary institutions, and her expertise includes international admissions, international marketing strategy, and business growth and development. Tiffany is also heavily involved in her local community, regularly volunteering in elementary schools and high schools. Welcome, Tiffany. Thank you so much for agreeing to present today. It's a pleasure to have you here to present such an interesting and unique workshop to everyone today. So without further ado, I guess you can get started.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kaden. Welcome, everyone. So my name is Tiffany. I work for Hackhub, and I'm sure that all of you know what Hackhub is all about. Your hackathon event is hosted, the platform is through Hackhub. So hopefully your experience using our event platform should be very enjoyable. If there's any feedback you can share with us that we can improve on our platform, please don't hesitate to reach out to Kaden and the event organizer so that we can improve our platform. I'm happy to share some of my knowledge about tech industry and education in tech industry to all of you. It will be mainly focused on North America. I also, I understand that some of you are from Hong Kong and, Asia, and then also in Canada, and then from US. So this presentation will be mainly focusing on North America. And then I will also be focusing on around Vancouver area because Hackhub is in this tech industry in Vancouver area for a little while now. So again, Hackhub is the event platform all of you are currently using. The hackathon event platform, you can upload your submissions. Also the judging system is on our platform. We have live streaming workshops you will be able to see using the same platform, and also we also added social media integrations recently last year to fit the hybrid events online needs after the COVID-19 situation. Well, we're still in the COVID-19 pandemic anyway. So let me quickly just jump into the tech industry in Vancouver. If all of you, I understand that most of you are currently in high school, so it is a very important period of time that you are, want to see what's out there and trying to pick the right majors to go in when you move on to universities. Currently you are involving in hackathon events, which is one of a great way to network and to learn what's outside of the academic world. If I can just give you some overview of the Vancouver Tech Hub. Vancouver Tech Hub has influenced and estimated around $15 billion into the province GDP growth, and now contributing around 7% of the whole economy in British Columbia. So the tech employment has it's like mining and oil and gas and forestry combined. Vancouver is very close to Silicon Valley and Seattle. So a lot of the big tech company do have their Canadian headquarters in Vancouver. It's just the Vancouver location. It's very close to this side of the map. Obviously, there are other tech giants in the Eastern Canada hub. However, most of the headquarters are currently in Vancouver hub. Obviously, big tech company like Slack, SAP, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, they are all here in Vancouver. And from the previous 10 years in the education industry, we find out that the government of Vancouver, the government of BC also are really involved with the innovation and the tech sector. I also put some Kaban, EA Game, Digital Domain, and Blackbird into this tech hub. Obviously, they are entertainment and game industry and movie industry. However, with game industry, a lot of the programmers or game designer are also feeding, those talent are also feeding to those agency, in entertainment agency kind of corporation. So there are a lot of talent needs and the tech talent needs that currently in our Vancouver Tech Hub. Also with British Columbia, we have several well-known universities that currently are constantly feeding the tech talent. So that's why a lot of with the government support, a lot of the big well-known tech companies put their headquarters into located in Vancouver area. So I also want to kind of share some of the numbers and updates on the Toronto, Kitchener, and Waterloo Tech Hub. So with industry giant like Google's, Twitter's, and Microsoft, they established a satellite office across the city of Toronto. And city of Toronto actually ranks third among North America cities in terms of the tech talent. And then they are actually nearly the same number of tech jobs as the San Francisco Bay Area. Obviously, around the Toronto region, the populations is so much higher than Vancouver hub. So that's why their tech talent pool is have more tech talent pool around that area. And also around that area, there are a lot of high quality university also close by to Toronto. So that's why the Kitchener and the Waterloo hub is feeding that big city like Toronto. So obviously there are also Montreal's are pretty high up there too. However, the population in Toronto definitely have the bigger talent pool there. So if in the future, when you are doing your university search, if you are interested to be in the tech sector for your future career path, I think it's worth sometimes to take a look at some of the universities that in the Kitchener-Waterloo hub. So also, the Samsung Research America recently announced that it will establish a state-of-the-art AI center in Toronto in the future. So that also proves that some of the most innovative AI research and startup are emerging in the Toronto city of Toronto. So there are a lot of opportunities. Obviously, with the new innovations, Toronto also is a startup hotspot. So a lot of the startups, they have those great innovative ideas. They also choose Toronto as their office location. So far, so good. If you have questions, please just type in the chat box. And then if we, at the end, I'll have a Q&A session. So now I want to just quickly go over some of the area that in the States that we see tech talent hub. So obviously Silicon Valley, Seattle, and Boston, those are the three top area or cities that we see have a lot of the big, a lot of startups and big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google's. So they all choose some of the biggest cities in the States because in those cities have a lot of the high quality higher education institutions, so that can feed the talent to their into those corporations. Also, not only Apple, Cisco's, and Salesforce, also among all those big companies. However, some stats do show that Silicon Valley is no longer the technology innovation center to the world. So as you can see, a lot of the big corporation, they want to expand globally, and then they find out that there's a lot of talent outside of San Francisco Bay Area. So I want to move quickly to the tips to all of the young tech talent. I think for sure education and academic is really, really important. And I can tell all of you already starting to look at the career path and what you will be want to learn in the university, or overseas, or stay within Canada, or stay within your country. I want to share some of the tips to all of you from all those years that I see tech talent coming out from university. So we find out that a lot of the, for example, computer science students, even though when they finished 4 years of learning, bachelor degree learning in university, we find out that when they graduate from the university, or even sometimes Hackhub do have co-op or internship opportunity for those university students that maybe in the last year of their 4 years of learning, we still find out that they are missing a lot of the technical skills, hard skills. So to compare with students that finishing university, but after finishing their university, they go through boot camps, like Lighthouse Lab or Brain Station. Their hard skills are more solid than the 4 years of bachelor degree computer science students. So obviously, with learning in the university, if we see some students that goes through hackathon events like this, we find out that then they build up portfolios. So as you know, during hackathon events, you work under pressure, you do team build, you collaborate together as a team, so that when you finish your university, when you go out and find jobs, you have a story to tell when you go through the interview process. You're not just using your university research or your university project, because they are not real life project. So I highly recommend to take some kind of short-term program, because they are very specific. And also when you come out of those boot camp, their career services are very specific, because as you know, in the university, there are hundreds of majors that the career councils need to help everyone with. But if you coming out of boot camps, very specific tech boot camps, they are really focused on your area. If you are a designer, they're focusing on design area. If you are a programmer, they are really focusing on programming kind of career path. Networking is crucial too. People use LinkedIn to reach out. Nowadays with hirings, I find out a lot of young talented individuals, they do 10 10 to 15 minutes coffee break to some of the hiring manager. So that, and a lot of the hiring managers are open for that because, you know, during a 10, 15 minutes of chat, you can definitely see the personality and if this person is fit for this job posting, so that this hiring manager will move on to a more kind of firm, kind of a real interviews, or pass this candidate to the future kind of direct managers. So networking through university clubs, or when you are ready to take co-op or internships, your university co-op or internship managers, they are well connected. So they are very active in LinkedIn or looking at other opportunity like Indeed, because their job is trying to help those university students to find co-op or internship jobs. Hackathon, obviously you are in hackathon events, so definitely it adds on a lot of portfolios and experience to you outside of your academic world. So I highly recommend take some international hackathon events and connect with corporate, connect with sponsors or other connection that you can find outside of your school. Attending career fairs, that's something that I think I can say in high school in British Columbia, the grade 12 students, I know that a lot of high school host career fairs and inviting second, like universities or higher education institutions to come into high school to host a booth to share their information. So also career fairs more, for example, in yearly, there's some education fairs that a high school student can attend to see if there's a university outside of BC or outside of Canada that you are open to go to. The last tips I want to share is start slow. I want to share some experience that I had with talking to university students. Recently, I was one of the judge in the SFU Storm Hackathon events, and then they had a job fairs, and I will say at least a good 10 university students reach out to me individually and share their experience on finding the right co-op or internships during their university lives. A lot, and most of them are sharing their experience as, hey, Tiff, I'm not interested in working in a startup or small company. I only want to go to have the opportunity in a big corporation like, like SAP, like Microsoft. How can I get there? I constantly have a conversation with co-op manager from UBC and SFU. They also have this kind of concern, saying a lot of the co-op and internships opportunities are out there, but not a lot of the talent want to take those opportunities. They only want to go to a bigger corporation. And my feedback to them is get as much as knowledge as you can. Big corporation and startup or mid-sized company are extremely different. Big corporation, when they find a talent, they are very specific. So however, with startup, they may say, okay, you're a programmer, I want a full stack developer. So full stack is front-end developer or back-end developer. So they may want you to share all the knowledge and also learn as you go too. So that you have a chance in a startup or small business, you have a chance to learn, to share your skills, to work on your project, and also at the same time learn other skills, because sometimes in startup or mid-sized company, one person needs to do multiple tasks. However, in big corporation, they're well kind of established. So when you go in there, they may not say, I need a full stack developer or a full stack designer, which is UX and UI designer. They may say, I just want a UX designer. So you will not be touching UI, but there will be a lot of collaboration between different departments. So the weight there is very different. However, if you have a chance to work in a startup company, the amount of learning is definitely more than the big corporate co-op or internship opportunity. Obviously, if you have the strong hard skills and go through the big corporate internship and you got this internship, yes, go for it and learn as much as you can, because that also look very nice on your resume too. Because hey, when I start my first job, I started with SAP, right? So at that time, when you have the opportunity to choose, that's the time you should wait which one is more important to you. As a tech talent, I would say never stop learning. Right now, the technology moves so quickly. If you don't learn quickly, and then you're behind, because tech just move very fast. Right now, 5G and AI is big deals, but we don't know after 5 years if that's still a new technology, right? So I also want to share some of the top tech jobs in North America. So AI and machine learning engineer, obviously, is very high up on the list. AI is a really, really new industry and lots to learn in that area. And from the recent workshop I went through during the kind of the AI industry, kind of like a community, we had a workshop together, and sounds like there are a lot of policies still need to develop through the government, which I'm saying Canadian government. So lots to learn in that area. However, machine learning, you can take the machine learning in the university. However, we do find out, for example, machine learning engineer, data scientist, data analyst, those three job titles are really, really, really hard to find those kind of job when you freshly graduate from university. So a lot of the university student, after they graduate, what they will do, they will take some software engineer, full stack developer, which is front end and back end, to start, because software engineer and full stack developer, they are an easy foot in the door tech jobs. Once you build some years of experience, and then your career end goal is going to become a data scientist or data analyst or machine learning engineer, you have to build that 3 to 5 years of work experience to be able to get up there to the next level. And we do also find a lot of the tech talent they were designers. They were user experience or user interface designer. And they worked for several years and they find out, hey, I want to be a coder. I want to be a programmer. So you never know. And like what I say, continue learning is extremely important, and learn something that you can quickly move and jump to another field. And then your skills can collaborate with different industry. I think that's the key to young talented individual that are not quite sure where the career path go, but the foundation with basic coding or basic design knowledge, you can continue with your work experience, you can build up. And then the end goal is to reach that end job titles that you are looking for. What can I say about UX and UI designer? A lot of the graphic designer, tell you the truth, right now, graphic designer they are really, really hard to find jobs. Because just like right now, my presentation, I'm using Canva, right? They have great template, a lot of the platform like Canva have all those great template that nowadays, even with brochures and everything, I do not need a graphic designer to come and help me because I can do my job just using template. So we find out a lot of the graphic designer are starting to really, really hard to get job opportunities. But if you are a user interface designer, then that's another story, because you a lot of any industry need a user interface designer, right? Game industry need a user interface designer. My purse, when I open my purse, you need a user interface designer and telling me, okay, this is the pocket that I can put my wallet in, I can put my cell phone in. So if you are thinking about become a designer, do more research on what area you can go to and what kind of designer you want to be. Full stack developer, that's actually one of the very demanding job that in the Canadian tech industry, because that's a very easy foot in the door kind of job opportunity. And then, like what I say, you can build up several years of experience, then move on to your next job opportunity. So to conclude my workshop, I do think all of you start, join hackathon events is a great opportunity to, collaborate and to make new friends. What I see hackathons, can help young individuals like all of you to gain more real life experience. I think that you are currently really doing the right things and think outside of the box. Nowadays, hackathon events are not only tech hackathon events. With Hackhub, we also have lots of events helping hirings or helping some of the big corporations that may want to reach to a new market. So hackathon events are now moving to a different kind, open a lot of doors with offline hackathon or online hackathon events. So I will say, attend more events like this to build your network. Reach out and don't hesitate to reach out to sponsors that will be able to open your doors to job opportunities. And then be confident when you present your final projects. Treat like a business. Treat like, you know, your project may be able to open your own, you know, be an entrepreneur, and then have the opportunity to maybe start something with this new project you've been doing through all of your hackathon events. That's the end of my workshop. I will pass it to Kaden, and then maybe we can have a Q&A session. Any questions? I'm open to answer some of the questions that you have regarding the tech sector in North America, and I will share my experience in the education and tech industry to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And on that last note about the hackathon projects and taking that to the next level, that's very good. And I just wanted to introduce the people here at the workshop, and of course the people watching this recording, that our San Francisco round actually is a very innovative take on hackathons, where they have a choice to do a continuation hack, where you can take a past project that you've done in a previous hackathon and continue working on it. So any of you who have a past project that you really enjoyed, or you know it just stuck with you, then I would encourage you to check out our next San Francisco event and the details when it comes out, because you would be able to continue doing that. Besides that, if you have any questions regarding career, anything regarding tech sector, just any advice, because this is a workshop that high schoolers may not get exposure to regularly. Especially advice from someone who's so experienced in and has so many interactions with co-op students who have similar interests to everyone competing in this hackathon as well. So, you know, even the people in this recording, if you have any questions, I would encourage you to forward the questions to me, and I can of course connect you with Tiffany if that's okay with her.
Yeah, let me post my LinkedIn link. So.
Okay. And on that note, anyone in the workshop right now, if you have any questions, feel free to just fire them on the chat or the Q&A section.
When is your submission deadline, Kaden? I mean, for this hackathon?
So everyone's submitting March 31st.
March 31st.
So yeah, this is the last weekend to really get it going. We kind of based it off the spring break for most people, so they have that extra time for the few weeks.
Great, yeah.
Are there any questions? I mean, of course, if you have questions later, feel free to connect with Tiffany on LinkedIn. But if there's anything right now, again, Q&A channel or the chat. So there's a question in the yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the things that, you know, first of all, connect with co-op and internship manager through, your future universities. They are well connected. They constantly liking some of the LinkedIn posts because they are well connected through LinkedIn. They are very active on some of the corporation that will directly reach out to those co-op and internship opportunities, right? So we see that Ripen is a very good source for students to connect with the corporate projects and everything. They have lots of opportunity for students. Also, I would strongly suggest to look into some of the government grants because a lot of the government grants, they also have an area that students can post their resume and find co-op and opportunities out there. So for example, that Maytax, is it Maytax? Just a sec, I can share some. Maytax. Yes, so there are, sign up for some of the, for example, Innovate BC or local nonprofit organization, but connecting all the business together, because I find out that a lot of the newsletter from them or a lot of the posting that they have on LinkedIn is sometimes it's just kind of a courtesy post to help to connect students, connects corporate with students. And as you know that when you move on to even higher education, like master degrees, you have to have those projects that completed and able to graduate. So university sometimes do not have enough resources to go out there and find project for you. And it's students sometimes need to go out and find their own real life projects. So be active on signing up some of the newsletters or follow some of those company or those nonprofit organizations to see what kind of new policy they come out or what kind of new grant they come out, because those kind of nonprofit organization, government signed them up to give them money to give it to students so that you guys are able to have the opportunity to have the co-op or internships. I hope I answer your questions. Is there another question? Yeah, cool.
That was a great question. Are there any other questions for Tiffany?
What else I can type in? Venture for Canada is another one. And don't hesitate to reach out to other people's too. For my understanding, last year during COVID, lots of university students, they were struggle, or even currently, they are struggling with finding co-op internships because a lot of the well-experienced talents got laid off during COVID situation, right? So you are sometimes competing with them. Obviously, those individuals are not taking your co-op or internship opportunity. But at that time, I remember the Innovate BC sent out email saying to a lot of the corporations saying, do you have opportunity for students to take co-op or internships? And this gave me a signal saying, a lot of the students did not have chance to find their match with co-op because company, tech industry, I would say survived because, lots of people need a lot of technology to run their business last year. Obviously tourism industry, they hit big time, right? So a lot of the company do not have budget to give to those individual last year. So using other platform like Venture for Canada, they have the resources directly between the corporate and the higher education. So they are the bridging those. So I highly recommend to check those links that I sent it to all of you so that you will be able to give yourself more resources. And then for those of you that, coming to join an international hackathon, this also, also open a lot of door to you internationally. Hopefully, some of you from Hong Kong or from Indonesia, hopefully you're looking outside of your countries and looking for opportunity internationally. Is there?
Yeah, there's one more question. Yeah.
Okay, here. What years of junior are most students that get their internship or high school have a chance? I would say yes. We have several high school graduate high school students last year that came to Hackhub and had some internships. So I will say, go out there and trying to find something for yourself. Internship. I see internship obviously in a tech company. It's really depending on what your skills are, right? I see a lot of high school individual that they're making their website, they're designing their design works are very impressive, and those are the student that been through hackathon. Maybe they're in grade 10 or grade 11, right? So I said, don't just stop yourself saying, oh, I'm just just finishing up high school. I think as long as you have the skills, take some small project. There are a lot of companies, they may need to have a short-term project. For example, they may have events that just need that 1 to 2 months of help. And I will also strongly suggest to volunteers. For example, Hackhub will be running Vancouver Startup, running a hackathon for Vancouver Startup Week. So during this hackathon, to run this hackathon, we have lots of volunteers. Why? Because they want to gain this experience. They want to experience this big hackathon events and to see, okay, it's Vancouver Startup Week. There's lots of startup companies will be there. There's lots of workshops, right? So volunteer is a great way to open a lot of doors and to gain some experience. And when you volunteer, you know, those managers or whoever within the company or within this event can see your potential. And then when you come back to them, let's say summer of your first year of university, then they remember you. They're like, hey, you know, Philip last year help us to volunteer with this Vancouver Startup Week hackathon. I'll be happy to have Philip back, right? So sometimes volunteer will open a lot of opportunities for you. And really it's to gain the work experience is the key, because, you know, as you know, right now, you do not have lots of things on your resume. And if you don't have a lot of juice on your resume, how can someone hire you, right? Because they do not know you. So if you have some volunteer experience, and those volunteer experience a real working experience, then that's something that it's very valuable on your resume. Hopefully this help with answer these questions.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's perfect. I mean, I guess if there are any last questions, I don't know if there's any other follow-ups to that. But yeah, those are some great answers. So I mean, all these links in the chat, Ripen, the newsletter, and all these things these resources that Tiffany's given, I'll include that in the recorded workshops document that you all can reference for the past workshops, so you can see all those resources as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so I guess there aren't any more questions, so we can call it there. Thank you, Tiffany, once again, for coming in and talking today. It's been a real pleasure having you here, especially seeing as we're using Hackhub so much, but also just to share the information and the knowledge that you have as well. So thank you.
Thank you for having me, Kaden, and good luck on all your projects, and hopefully see you guys be very active on